If you're thinking about visiting Thailand in 2025, then this video is for you, because we have spent a lot of time here over the last 12 months and we know all of there is to know about Thailand. So in this video, we're going to break it all down for you so you have the perfect itinerary. We're going to go through the visas you need, how to get around, which places you should visit in 2025, what laws you should be wary of and what to avoid, and of course our favorite, all of the amazing food that you must eat. We're Tyson and Abby and we are the Fit Nomads, and we bring out videos every single week. If you love travel, if you love adventure, and if you're curious about the digital nomad lifestyle, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and leave us with any comments that you have. We're so happy to help. Let's dive in.
So we just got to the gym. We're at Evolve Fitness. It's our favourite gym in Copenhagen. So we're about to do a bit of a training session. But firstly, we wanted to talk about visas. Most countries don't need a visa. In fact, 93 countries can arrive in Thailand and be visa exempt, meaning that when you arrive, you can get 60 days of free travel within Thailand. Then after that 60 days, which is the tourist visa, you're actually able to extend it for another 30 days within the country. So that's 90 days total you can just get for most people. Obviously check the list to make sure your country's on the list. Then there's also a couple of other visas you can get. So if you wanted to stay for a bit longer, you can stay for a year and get an education visa. This means that you'll just need to do something like Muay Thai or cooking classes or Thai language or that sort of thing.
And then if you are a digital nomad and you're wanting a longer stay, they have just introduced a new 5-year visa, which means that you can come and go for 5 years. You just have to leave Thailand every 180 days. So that's going to be something that we definitely check out. We haven't got that yet, but it's on the cards. So we've just finished gym, we're on our way to coffee, but we thought this would be a good opportunity to talk about when is the best time to visit Thailand. And this is really important because Thailand does have a wet season and a dry season. The dry season and the best time to visit is between November to March, and then the wet season is from May through to October. But do be careful because the Gulf of Thailand sometimes is a little bit different. So here in Copenhagen, the wettest months are actually November and December, and similar for Koh Tao and Koh Samui. But then if you're on the other side, so like Koh Kud, Koh Chang, that's when that's dry. So just do some research before, because different parts of Thailand have different sort of areas. And I know as well that the wettest month of Phuket is September, and you definitely don't want to go to Phuket in September because it's torrential downpour all the time. So when we first came to Thailand, we came straight to Copenhagen in October, and at the tail end of October, it started getting really, really, really wet. So that's when we ventured to Koh Kud, where it was dry instead.
We are at Tomorrow X to have our coffee. This place is really beautiful. It's probably the best co-working cafe in Copenhagen, and we just love it here. So while we're here, I just wanted to talk about the food and the night markets in Thailand, because there's so much incredible food and you have to try pretty much everything, especially the curries. The curry is my favourite. Massaman curry is my favourite. But what you should do is, if you have the time, venture out to Chiang Mai. Chiang Mai has probably the best food in Thailand, and the Sunday market in Chiang Mai is incredible. You'll be able to try absolutely everything, all the curries, all the desserts, all the little coconut pancake things, everything there you can try, and each meal only costs you about 100 baht or less. You can even get skewers, chicken skewers, and all of those are like 10 baht or 20 baht, which I think equates to, you know, half a dollar, maybe 50 cents or 20 cents, something like that. So definitely need to give those a go. The night markets are all very safe in Thailand. We've never had an issue, so don't be scared to try everything. I always have a lot of sushi at the night markets. Not that it's a Thai thing, but I just really enjoy it. And I've never been sick. So yeah, go give it a try and you'll enjoy.
So how much will you expect to pay on your trip to Thailand? Well, this does depend on your taste. Obviously, you can really budget, but then you can also lash out depending on where you go and where you stay and what you do. But for example, this coffee that we're having at this beautiful cafe this morning is only 100 baht, so that's around $4 Australian or $2.50 USD, which is pretty affordable compared to a coffee in Melbourne these days where you're looking to pay around $7 or $8 a coffee. For example, beers, if you go out, you can get a beer for like $1 from 7-Eleven, or maybe like $4 if you're going out to a bar or a cafe as well, a restaurant. If you're looking to go out for meals, of course there are budget meals. You can pay around $2 to $3 for a meal out. Otherwise, of course, you can find places that are around $15 for a meal, but you're probably not going to spend much more than that per meal, which is still pretty good and affordable as well. So accommodation, of course, does vary as well. You can get places that are super expensive, but if you're looking for like long-term rentals, for example, we're paying around $1,400 a month for a 2-bedroom place with a pool and a beautiful view here in Koh Phangan, which I think is pretty affordable. But yeah, you can pay a lot less than that if you don't want the pool or don't want the extra room or don't want the view or the location as well. And the other thing that you will be paying for as well are experiences, so going out on day trips, on boat trips, snorkeling, exploring the islands, all of that sort of stuff. There are a heap of different things that you can do, but you're probably looking to pay around $40 to maybe $100 per experience there as well. There's also lots of shopping that you can do here at normal clothes shops or any other markets that you might find as well. The best thing about most of those markets is that you can bargain and barter, so always suggest a price that you're willing to pay, and then they might go lower and then you can find somewhere nicely in between.
Abby and I have just been working for the afternoon. We always get a bit of work done here and then we decide if we're going to have a coffee out or if we're going to have a coffee in. And today we're going to go to Cave because Cave's our favourite coffee joint and we're going to go get a nice brew there. I'm going to tell you a bit more information. But before we get to that, I want to talk about some rules and regulations you need to be aware of, and it's not as boring as you think, okay? There are some rules that you need to be aware of that might get you into trouble. Like one of them is you're not allowed to badmouth anyone's business idea. This could end you up in Thai prison. So it's something to think about. And there's other things like this that are kind of unusual that might get you into a bit of trouble. Like if you say something against the monarchy, so they have princes and stuff here, if you say something against them, then you can also go to Thai prison. So just be nice. That's why the Thai people are all very nice. If you're nice and you're polite, then you won't get into trouble. The other thing is there's some tips with the scooters. And actually, I'm going to save that for a little bit later when I talk a bit more about scooter hire and what to be aware of, but something to really think about. So let's go to the cafe, let's get a brew.
So on your trip, you are going to want to stay connected, and that means you're going to need some sort of Wi-Fi or SIM card situation. So SIM cards first, you can get them from the airport as soon as you arrive in Thailand. We wouldn't recommend doing that just because it can be a little bit more expensive. There are a heap of global SIMs that you can get online, like an eSIM, and you can get one from one like SIM Corner, for example, so you could do some research there. Alternatively, a local SIM is probably your best option. So as soon as you get to Thailand, just wander the streets and find a 7-Eleven or some sort of market and duck in to get a local SIM, and they can cost you around $15 to $20 a month. The speed from the SIM card is great in most places. There are obviously going to be some remote places like in the hills up north that you might not find reception, but in most cases as well there is great Wi-Fi all through Thailand, so you can duck into any cafe and use Wi-Fi without any issues, and we honestly haven't had any issues here in Thailand, and we've been working here for almost a couple of months.
Also, you need to get around Thailand. There's lots of ways to get around. One way is by bus. If you're going from city to city, you can always go by bus. They're super cheap, super affordable. The other way is if you're going through or crossing to other islands, you need to take ferries, and there's lots of ferries that you can take. There's cheaper ones that are only going to cost you around $8 to $10 per ticket, or there's more expensive speedboats that are going to cost you a bit more. Sometimes it's better to opt for the speedboat unless it's bumpy, and then you might want to opt for the big ferry because it can get a little bit rough on the seas, and we had some funny experiences, and I'm sure you've seen some videos of Thailand, speedboats. And then finally, when you're in one spot, getting around on a scooter, even driving between spots, getting around on the scooter is super cheap, super affordable. You can hire one pretty much anywhere. There's places to hire scooters, especially in the major cities, and you can pay anywhere between 100 baht to about 300 baht per day. If you want a nicer scooter, obviously you're going to cost a bit more, but if you pay 250, 300 baht per day, then you're going to get a pretty sufficient new scooter that's going to work pretty well. I would opt for getting a good new scooter because some of the older ones will break down, and you just want to avoid that because that can cost you a lot in the end. People might try and charge you for something breaking, just be wary of that. And there's some other tips, okay? So when you rent the scooter, they're gonna ask for your passport, but what you can do is say, I'll leave a cash deposit instead, and you leave about 3,000 to 5,000 baht with them, and they'll hold on to that, and then when you come and drop the scooter off, they'll give you that money back. You don't want to leave your passport with them. Some other things to note is if you don't have a motorbike license, then when you get pulled over, you might have to pay a fine, and it's better to pay an on-the-spot fine to the police and just keep on your way rather than going to the police station. It shouldn't be too much or too expensive. You shouldn't be paying more than 1,000, 2,000 baht for that fine. In addition to that, bring your international driver's license if you can get one, because that's going to help you get past a lot of these roadblocks if you hit them. Another easy way to get around that Abby and I use quite a bit is getting a private driver. They are really not that expensive to get, especially if you're only doing a couple of hours or if you're going from one city to another. If you have more than just yourself, then you can just split the cost, pay for a car with a driver, stop wherever you want on the way, and just enjoy a bit of comfort while you're here.
So one of our favourite things to do sometimes when we're feeling a little bit lazy, we've prepped some dinner and some chicken at home, but we need some salad. Yeah. So we've headed to 7-Eleven and they have trusty salad, we got some eggs,
Look at these little
and the
eggs.
stuff here is so fun. So we usually get the sushi here, which is like 10 out of 10. We love 7-Eleven sushi and we always get that on the go. But yeah, they've got a lot of fun stuff in 7-Eleven. So when you're in Thailand, head to 7-Eleven and go have some fun.
Toasted sandwiches, meals, everything.
The best. So if you've made it this far in the video, you're obviously pretty serious about booking your trip to Thailand. So we have the perfect itinerary for you based on the amount of time that you've got to explore this beautiful country. If you're only going for 1 week, then we would recommend probably flying into Phuket and then choosing one island from Phuket, whether that be Koh Samui, whether that be Koh Phangan, or you could also explore Krabi. We have a whole video on Krabi here if you want to watch that, because it was a beautiful place and we highly recommend visiting Krabi as well. Now, if you've got 2 weeks, we recommend doing some island hopping. So this will give you a really good chance to explore several islands like Koh Phangan, Koh Samui, Koh Tao, Koh Phi Phi. There are so many in the Gulf of Thailand that you will absolutely love. So 2 weeks will be enough time for you to explore a couple. If you have 3 weeks, then we recommend island hopping and then venturing up north to Chiang Mai. So you can do that by flying to Bangkok and then flying to Chiang Mai as well. Otherwise, I think there's buses, all of that sort of stuff. So if you've got the time, 3 weeks is definitely enough to visit Chiang Mai, go to Pai and really explore what the north is like, because you will love it. The food is phenomenal. It's a great, great, great city. And then lastly, if you have 4 weeks, then we recommend doing it all. So start in Phuket, explore the islands, head up to Chiang Mai, and then go on to the other side of Thailand and visit Koh Chang or Koh Kud. Koh Kud was one of our favorite islands that is almost untouched. It's pristine, it's beautiful, and we would definitely recommend checking that out if you've got the time as well.
So I hope you got something out of this video, and if you liked it, please like the video and subscribe, because we send out these videos all the time. We've got some other videos about Thailand, so check those out as well, and hopefully we'll see you in the next one.